Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alexander Martyniuk, and I'm glad to present the research on formation of informational and digital competence of secondary school students in laboratory work in physics. The article is by Alexander Semenovich Martyniuk, Alexander Alexandrovich Martyniuk, it's me, and Ivan Muzyka. So, uh, on this slide, you can see the abstract and keywords of the article, and I guess we can go further to talk about the article. So, firstly, let's talk about the problem and the purpose. Ukraine, like other European countries, considers the digitalization of education a priority. National development programs and strategies are aimed at introducing modern digital tools into the learning process. The concept of the new Ukrainian school is now being actively implemented, and one of the main components of learning in this concept is information and digital competence. Despite the fact that digital agenda is quite positive about the prospects for the introduction of STEM education and the promotion of competency-based approach to learning in practice, there is still a difference between the requirements of digitalization and the real information and digital competence of students and teachers. Accordingly, the article addresses three key issues. First, identification of the main problems of formation of information in digital competence. Secondly, is determine the level of use of digital technologies in physics lessons and developing scenarios for the introduction of cross-platform digital tools in the physical laboratory work. Based on a study of existing frameworks and articles on information and digital competence, the main components of these competence have been identified. As we can see on the slide, information and digital competence is a multi-faceted concept which is based not only on the skills of digital media, but also on the ability to work with information and to interact with other people. It is clear that development of informational and digital competence is impossible without using the digital tools. Moreover, it's important to understand the current level of their use by students. To this end, a survey was conducted of students of Ukrainian schools in issues on information and digital competence, and the survey showed that digital tools are widely used in study of physics and in preparing to lessons. Moreover, as expected, modern students consider the use of ICT in education process as promising. Secondly, by this survey, we saw that the generation of children who are now in high school are accustomed to the use of ICT in everyday life. Accordingly, their skills in using digital tools are high. The pre-quarantine survey showed the results that you can see on this slide, and moreover, as we can see here, the main part of students can use modern digital gadgets and programs freely, but also in the real life, in real situation with quarantine and its restrictions, uh, we see that students are willing and able to use different programs and gadgets in the learning process. The next diagram shows how students catch the concept of information and digital competence. And In the survey, we used a rather universal definition of the digital and informational competence, and you can see that this definition, which is green, it is cached by the third part of students, but also basically all of the students understand the main characteristics of the digital informational competence. It's very good. It's really good result. And the last but not least is how students see the way of implementing the information and digital competence for them. It's very important to understand the students, of course, and the respondents were also asked about this, and they find two main ways. As we can see, it's consulting by teachers and using ICT in practice. So the next task for us was to create the real scenarios of using information communication technologies in the physics laboratory and show how it can introduce the information digital competence. So as I said, the article considers of some specific scenarios for the use of information and communication technologies in the performance of laboratory work in physics. In fact, the concept of the described experiments did not change, and the student considered the real physical processes described in the text. However, the approach to the work was snaky. The method described in the textbook involved performing manual measurements. It's clear that this approach does not contribute to the development of information and digital competence. So we added some digital tools to the real experiment and change it in some way. And on the slide, you can see the scenario of such laboratory work. The second scenario also uses not only the PC program, but also the mobile, the program for smartphones. And in this scenario, we also added using the cloud technologies for measurements. I mean, in this case, we used Google Sheets as an example, and we showed the uh, real path for student how to perform this laboratory work and find some results. So, as a conclusion, I would like to say that nowadays education trends expands the possibilities of using modern tools and devices during training. And secondly, the combination of specialized programs, mobile devices, and cloud technologies, especially in laboratory workshop, will have a positive impact on the formation of information and digital competence. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask, and we can continue talking about the article uh, and its goal and so on.